Apparently, Alexander Isak has gone missing. However, we know where Aaron Ramsdale is. He's heading to Newcastle. Are we in safe hands? Find out right here on Toon Tactics TV, folks.
Oh, brilliant from Cher. And now Murphy can take on the shot. Fabian Cher
All right. Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. Always a blessing to be able to have Toon Tactics TV and share the evenings with you guys. How is your evening going? How is your day gone? How has your week been? Always a pleasure to be with you guys. It has been and continues to be a roller coaster of a transfer window for Newcastle United. But hey, we wouldn't have it any other way, I suppose. Anyway, we're going to be talking tonight. We're going to kick off with the news that will just happen in the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that is that there has been an agreement reached for Aaron Ramsdale to Newcastle United. We're going to be talking about that right now and do a little bit of a scouting report as well as a little bit of video on Mr. Ramsdale. We're then going to talk about the Alexander Isak drama. Kind of we'll talk a little bit through the Craig Hope video. Provided a really comprehensive video as well, so we're going to look at that. So really looking forward to that, as well as actually a little bit later in the show, I'm gonna do a little bit of a profile view of Mr. Ross Wilson, our new sporting director, and I'm gonna do a part two sometime in another show about our new CEO Anthony Hopkinson as well. But I need to research him a little bit more before I do that. And a little bit of a Benjamin Sesko update as well. Actually, I might include that a little bit earlier in the show. So, pack show, lots and lots of stuff to talk about, lots and lots of stuff to discuss. I can't wait to get you guys' views and opinions on things. But first of all, always remember, folks, as I just remembered, please do like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as you always do. Last show, actually, we got 71 likes. You guys are absolutely incredible. I want to thank you for that. I think we had like 1.5k views, something like that, which is amazing. Absolute this more views than we've got subscribers is insane. So that is down to the fact that you guys are hitting the likes, you guys are engaging in the chat, you guys are subscribing, you guys are hitting the notification bell. It is down to you guys, and I want to show my appreciation. You guys are amazing. All right, so first of all, let's make sure we say hello to the chat and see how everybody else is doing. Good to see Sam. Hello, lads. God bless you, Sam. Hello to you too. Hope you are well. Good to see you, Cy Robson. Always a blessing to see you. Evening, Philip, and the chat. Evening to you, Adrian Pickett. Good to see you. God bless you. Great to have you as always. Big Watson. Amazing to see you, sir. God bless you. Got a player finally. And think Ramsdale will come good for us. I love that. So do I. With a solid back line, can play out from the back, unlike Pope. I think you've got it there in a nutshell, Big Watson. Honestly, I think you've got it there in a nutshell. Speaking of Aaron Ramsdale, Robojog, obviously our resident Arsenal fan, but incredible member of the channel. Always a blessing to see you, sir. Hey, Phil, how are you, my man? You asked that like, oh, you do follow up that. I was going to say you said that like you're really caring about my well-being, which I like. You good? You good? I hope Newcastle isn't giving you a hard time. No, Newcastle isn't giving me a hard time. We roll with the punches. Listen, we rolled the punches, but I appreciate it. That's a fantastic comment. Always good to see you, Wobojog. Hope you are well. You must be excited to have Victor Eucharist, by the way, Wobojog. And should we get Sesko over the line, that's going to be a tale of like two cities or two strikers, shall we say? That's going to be interesting. Davey Eddie, good to see you. God bless you, sir. Ramsdale medical tomorrow. Yes, sir. He's a decent keeper. Hard to get excited about it, to be fair. you started you started off excited and then you said, oh, it's hard to get excited about it. I think it's, we'll talk about this. We'll see where we are with it. And the bearded Toon fan, God bless you, sir. Good to see you. Good evening to you. And one final there from Warbajog. I'm man. I know what it's like to fight clubs to keep your best striker. Is giving me RVP PTSD. Oh, you know what? Well, you can talk us through it. You can talk us through it. All right. Aaron Ramsdale. Let me get myself onto it. So first, I'm going to credit because everybody else has now jumped in on it. But Mr. Ornstein, the Ornstein bomber, exclusive. Newcastle United reach agreement with Southampton to sign Aaron Ramsdale. Deal for 27-year-old England goalkeeper. Season long loan plus a sizable fee, and I think Ben Jacobs has now reported that the sizable fee is £4 million, which is I suppose it's sizable. I think it's a good deal. Sizable fee and option to buy, so not obligation. So I think it's a deal that's been worked out quite well. I think Saints wanted 25 million for him, so if we do opt to buy him, it probably costs us about 20 million. So permission from Saints to travel for a medical and finalize transfer to Newcastle United. So I think there's also some further bombers here, as mentioned. Ben Jacobs, as reposted by a good by Pete Davey from Loaded Mag. Big up Loaded Mag. Ben Jacobs, Newcastle United have reached an agreement with Southampton to sign Aaron Ramsdale. He understands the loan fee to be at £4 million. And also Fabrizio Romano gives his here we go for Aaron Ramsdale. So I want to get you guys' initial reactions. I'm going to play a video before I get into all the scouting profiles of Aaron Ramsdale. And for maybe Wobojog and other Arsenal fans, this they will know about this video. You will know about this video, guys, and I'd love to get your take on what was your initial reactions when you first saw it. But what is you guys, before we get into it, what is you guys' thoughts? How do you how you guys feel about it? For me, just looking at the deal itself, a loan, a season-long loan, option rather than obligation. So we've got even more flexibility as to whether we're going to sign him. I actually found out that his wages, Mr. Aaron Ramsdale's wages, they're not small. Share this stab instead. He's on 120k, Mr. Ramsdale. Oh, gone a bit too far there, but he's on 120k. So the fact that that is nothing to sneeze at, right? So it's quite significant. He's on 120k, and so to have an option rather than an obligation gives us a much needed flexibility, and that the fact that we was able to negotiate, I think we compensate a little bit in the loan fee, obviously for £4 million, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that £4 million will probably be a drop in the ocean. That's the deal itself. Lots of flexibility. Obviously, in terms of it's an option to buy. Lots of flexibility. It's a decent loan for £4 million for the 27-year-old goalkeeper, and he wants to be at the club. Now, before we get into him, in terms of like him as a player and what does that mean, and I'm going to play a video of him, and kind of give a more comprehensive view of him. I think the deal is a good deal. It's a flexible deal, and it still allows us to move in the market, which is important. But let me see what you guys think of this deal. Let me see what you guys are initial thoughts on Mr. Ramsdale and the Toon and Ramsdale itself. I think because also registers a comment. Register Kev, always a blessing to see you. So God bless you. What's up, Toon? All good, sir. All good. So always happy to see you. So hope you're well. Key 88, welcome to the channel. Apologies if you've been here before, but if you haven't, it's your first time. God bless you. Welcome to the channel. If Sesko has given a decision by tomorrow, you feel he's holding out for Man United? I'll talk about Sesko a little bit later, but just a quick answer is there's always a possibility that he's assessing his options. But there's been an update on Sesko, and I'll talk about him a little bit later. I'll start this comment, Key88, and I'll come back to it so I can give you a more fuller answer. Aaron Kate, good to see you. God bless you. It's good to finally go a day without us having to suffer blows. This window hasn't been kind to us at all, and the board and PIF are to blame for this. Wow. I'm going to pin that comment, so I'll come back to it. There's a lot in that. I would love to unpack with you, Aaron, but I hear what you're saying. I hear what you are saying. David Veitch, always a blessing to see, sir. God bless you. If anyone can bring the best out of Ramsdale, it is Howe. Yes, I fully agree with that. Aaron Kane, Ramsdale is an upgrade in regards to his distribution, but I don't rate him as a shot stopper. I'm very underwhelmed by Ramsdale. Lafont Restas, there's a better keeper in Europe for me. And I've heard that name before. I can't say I know much about it, but I have heard that name before, Aaron. Agent asked, is Dubs on the move? Well, it's telling that in the preseason game against Arsenal, we didn't even play Dubs. We played Ruddy, and goodness gracious me, Ruddy is rusty. Sheesh. I think afterwards, I don't know if you guys remember, I think the ball was passed back to him and he was kicking it and he nearly got it blocked, and the Arsenal player nearly closed them down. I think once Eddie said that, he turned around to Jason Tyndall to get on the blower to Ramsdale. Let's finalize this deal. So yes, Adrian, I definitely think that Mr. Dubravka's on the move. Oh, I missed Cy Robson. He's the best keeper with his feet at the club now. Yes, he is. Absolutely. And we're going to look at that. We're going to look at that in depth from the video as well. And if that's how we want to play, I see him starting against Villa in the first game of the season. Ooh, big call there. Big call. Aaron Kane, I still am trying to get over the Trafford saga, moving the goalposts and failing to land a target. We have been over a year. We have been so poor in the market. Yes. You sound really disappointed, Aaron. I understand that. I share the sentiment. I just have a different perspective in terms of, I think we went for targets that everybody wanted, which shows our ambition, which actually links back to what Isak, Mr. Alexander Isak, is allegedly saying about Newcastle's lack of ambition. I think when you're looking for targets that Real Madrid want, that Chelsea want, that Man United want, that Liverpool want, I don't think that highlights that is a sign that is not ambitious, in my opinion. Sam says Ramsdale is definitely on it. I think you're saying on it, or ain't it? Let me know, Sam. Just clarify it I don't want to misrepresent you. Just clarify that for me. Jog says, I actually think he's a good temper option. I agree. The whole focus, and this is from an Arsenal fan. This is really interesting to hear that from Jog. I think he's a good temp option. The whole focus thing is fake and blown out. He wasn't comfortable playing as high as Raya. That's why Arteta let him go. In fact, he's a better shot stopper. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, but that's really interesting for you to say that. Really interesting to hear you say that. And there's actually, Warburg, I'm gonna read an article that kind of goes in line with what you're saying, to be honest. All right, couple more comments. I'll give it one more, and we'll get into the video and a little bit of a profile of Mr. Ramsdale. Sam says Ramsdale is definitely a bit underwhelming, but why are fans acting like he's one leg or something? Yeah, I think it's a reaction. In my view, I think it's an overall reaction to Newcastle's window in general. Key88 says hasn't given a decision. Apologies. Who hasn't given a decision? I missed something. I forgot something. Sorry, Key88. Remind me if you can what we're referring to. Aaron Kane for the interview with Ian Wright just puts me off. Ramsdale, someone needs to show Eddie that interview. Well, Warburg actually just before just mentioned that it's been overblown. Davey Eddie says Philip, Eddie gave Ramsdale his pro debut. He did, and you're stealing my thunder here. I had some comments on that earlier, but yes, Philip, Eddie gave Ramsdale his pro debut. He really rates him. He does. He certainly does, and Eddie knows a wee bit more than we, especially how to tap into his psyche. And finally, Wobbachuk says also Zubimendi is my Listen Our Gabe movie reference Dune voice. Okay, I haven't seen that. From the Outer World, aka Off-World Messiah this season. Oh, okay. People are in for a shock. Eucharist is okay, not expecting Haaland, but also not Ireland. Do you know what? That's probably the best and most balanced analysis I've heard from anybody, Arsenal fans and non-Arsenal fans. You're not expecting Haaland, but also not Hoyland. And I can live with that. And before we move on, I've just seen my good friend Olu from in the chat. Good to see you, sir. God bless you, sir. And Olu says Aaron Ramsdale doing the rounds. Well, yes, we are gonna shout pigeon next time we play Newcastle. Fair play to you, Olu. Now, speaking Olu, that you're here, what Olu and Wobujog, our resident Arsenal fans, and this is for all Newcastle fans as well, obviously, but I think our resident Arsenal fans will know about this video that I'm going to show. I wanted to show a video from Mr. Ramsdale himself that I thought was quite interesting about his personality, and I wanted to get you guys' take on him. And this is when he signed a contract renewal with Arsenal. I can't remember what year this is. I think Wobojog and Olu would definitely know and definitely remember. So can you guys see that? Yes, you can. I wanted to show you guys this video and get you guys' take. I like when a player, when anyone in general has self-awareness. And I think Mr. Ramsdale has this in this video. So, all right, let me just play it for you guys and see what your take is on it. And I'm really keen to hear Olu's and Mr. Wobojog's take on it about what their kind of initial impressions were, your initial impressions were when you heard this video, and kind of looking back at it after everything that's happened as well. All right, so let me take it away.
Ready? Right, let's do this. How are we, Gunners? It's been a while since we've done this.
I just want to say, what's so funny is, if the music is so melancholy and sad, the guy's just renewed his contract. He's not leaving the club. But the music is so sad and reflective.
It's crazy to think that we're coming up to 2 years since we last spoke like this. But let's get it out of the way. I know.
He said, let's get it out of the way. Guys, he's renewing his contract. He's not leaving the club, he's renewing the contract.
You guys probably weren't the most overexcited for the signing of myself.
You know what? God bless Aaron Ramsdale. I love this honesty and self-awareness.
And I totally get it. I don't have any right to come here and expect you all to rate me from the get-go.
Fair play.
This is a huge club and it's had some top-class goalkeepers along the way. But fair play, once I got into the team and I got my chance, I feel like we understood each other a lot more. I feel your love and I feel like you feel mine as well. Hopefully you get the idea that I give everything out there. It doesn't matter how it happens, I take responsibility for keeping that ball out the back of the net. I'll do anything in my power to get that clean sheet.
All right, fair play. I just wanted to play a part of that video to kind of introduce Mr. Ramsdale. Again, I have to repeat, he's announcing the renewing of his contract. Not that I'm leaving or that I'm sorry about what's happened, but goodness gracious me. The melancholy music, I know, and then he opens up by saying, "Guys, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but I'm grateful to be here. I'm laughing only not because I hope it doesn't. I'm not mocking it. I'm just like, I'm kind of, I just, it's the, it's just the almost like the tragic irony of the video. It's supposed to be a happy occasion, i.e., goalkeeper, first choice keeper at that time is renewing his contract. But the music is sad, and the guy is saying it's almost apologetic that he's renewing it. But he's very self-aware, and he's authentic, and he's honest. And it also lets us know that footballers know what's going on. Like, obviously, we know that they're on the social media, they hear the people talking. I think this is a quality that that will endear him to us Newcastle fans. That's my initial thoughts about him as well. So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I just wanted to play that video to you guys. I thought it was quite interesting and revealing about his character. Wobberjog reminds about the Pigeon Man. You guess people don't know about that. Yeah. So what does Oli say here? You are gonna bring back. It's a move like it felt like it. Honestly, only when I saw it, I didn't know this. I didn't understand. I didn't know about this video. I'm like, I've never seen a video like this. Forgive me, I don't know if there's been videos like this, but I was like, wow, it's so emotional. Wobo joke, holding bench takes you to dark places. Music choices 10 for me. It seems like it's hit the spot, right? He's not like under any illusions whatsoever about what the fans think of him and the mood and everything else about it, which is incredible. Incredible, incredible, incredible. I just found it so profound. I felt like I had to share it on the show. Olu says it's what endeared Arsenal fans to, and I think it's going to endear him to Newcastle fans. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the announcement video when he's at Newcastle. If he's done this at Arsenal, I can't wait to hear the Newcastle video. It's going to be like, guys, after this is part two from what I did at Arsenal. I know you guys are probably overwhelmed. You're expecting somebody else, but I promise you, I'll do you. God bless Aaron Ramsdale. I know this says, however, seeing the ruthlessness that Raya had for becoming number one made me realize he was too much of an emotional goalie. That's really, really interesting. Really, really interesting observation, Olu. Appreciate you for that. Kamal MK, welcome to the channel. Don't know if you've been here before, but if it's your first time, welcome to the channel, sir. God bless you. Great to have you. And he says, "Good evening, everyone. We sign Edge?" I can't unsee that. I can't unsee that now. I cannot unsee that now. Welcome, Kamal. Wobblejog says, hot take. I'm ready for this. I haven't read it just yet, Wobblejog, but I'm ready for this. Let's do it. Your fan base will be disappointed if you don't trigger the buy option by the end of the season. Ooh. Okay. Okay. What do you say there? You said he's more of a fan than a player. Think Joe Linton energy, but a goalkeeper. I like that. I like that, Jog. You're on fire today. With your Jokeris comment and this. I like that. I'm gonna take that into my thinking whenever I look at Ramsdale. I like that. A couple more comments and we'll get into a little bit more of an in-depth view on Mr. Ramsdale. Tino Abil the Two, God bless you, sir. Absolute privilege to have you on the show. Great to see you, sir. Hot take, but I'm very sure he's better than. By the way, Tina, let me know if you're going to do a scouting report on Ramsdale. I love to hear. I love to hear what your thoughts are on him. My bad from Kamal. I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it because of you, Kamal. I can't unsee Ed Sheeran now. Warwick Hunt, I don't know if it's your first one to the channel, but God bless you. Welcome. Yasir is not in Newcastle. He's in Phoenix, USA. Oh, is it? Has he returned? Let me know, guys. All the news was saying just the other day that he was at Newcastle. He might have returned. Maybe everything that needs to, maybe now that Ramsdale arrived, maybe Mr. Yasir thinks that, oh yeah, my job is done. I'm sure it's not that, but it's interesting to see. But thank you for the update, sir. Wobajog, he is an S-Hauser and everyone will hate him, but he is ours kind of player. Add Mr. Ramsdale to the list of Joe Linton. So Ramsdale, Joe Linton, Byrne, Gordon, Bruno Gomes, God help us. And everybody else really, and Mr. Jason Tyndall as well. It's going to be fun times at St. James's Park. It's going to be fun times, guys. Goodness gracious. Mike Gent, solid. Welcome to the channel. Solid signing, just what is needed in the goalkeeper position. I agree. I think I agree. Kim Cam says, evening all. Hello, Philip. Good to see you. Good to see you, Kim Cam. God bless you. Great to see you. Great to see you. Olu says bunch of thugs. We're thugged out, Olu. We are thugged out, honestly. A couple more comments, and we'll get a bit into the depths of Mr. Ramsdale. And another video I wanted to show in terms of the key reason why I think Mr. Howe wants Mr. Ramsdale. BT, good to see you, BT. Ramsdale current book valuation is 18.75 million. He is currently on 120k. Yes, he is. Yes, per week, and Newcastle would have to pay his weekly wage. Yes. We would also have to pay a loan fee to Southampton, 4 million. Yes, which would be discounted from his valuation with 2 years left on his contract. Come in June 2026. Thanks for that, BT. That's proper informative. Do you think it's a good deal, BT? I would really like to hear your take on it. Do you think it's a good deal? Wobblejug says, on the quality of play, I think Madueke meltdown, okay, but actually not really that bad for me, actually. Fair play. I can see where you're coming from. And finally, Olu says, I'm already experiencing the PTSD after you said those names. See Ramsdale, S-Hausen after another 1-0 Newcastle. I know. It's going to be emotional, Olu. It's going to be emotional. Finally, Jam Stasher, Phoenix is sort of like Newcastle, so I can see what the things. You guys are on fire with the jokes today. All right. So let's get into I'm going to have to separate there's two scout profiles that are there. Obviously, I can't go into depth on both of them, otherwise we're going to take up the whole show. But they offer quite interesting takes, and I want to really get onto the video of Ramsdale as well. But they are quite revealing to me, anyway, when they're discussing Ramsdale. So let me just quickly find them. One is from. And make sure you guys can see this. Can you guys see? No, you can't. I'm not sharing it. That's why. Brilliant. So this was written, I think, when Ramsdale was still. What's happened here? Gosh, now I need to come back. Let me sort this out. So it was written by. Where are you? Here we go. There's two reports. So let me see what you guys can see. Okay, excellent. So this is from Mr. Scott Willis, and this is written in June 2027. Not 2027, 27th of June 2023. So 2 years ago now, exactly 2 years ago, when Ramsdale was at Arsenal. And when obviously Arsenal and Olu and Wobble, at this point, I think you guys obviously are chasing them for the title. You've got really lofty ambitions. So the author is writing this. This is Scott Willis. When he says examining Aaron Ramsdale part 1 of what will be a multi-part explanation of Arsenal's key goalkeeper. Now, Mr. Willis takes he's quite open in his I don't want to say bias, but the report comes from a point of view of, okay, where Arsenal are chasing the title, I don't think, even though there are strengths that Ramsdale has, like his kicking, some of his shot stopping, sweeping, it's not the overall message is that he's not an elite goalkeeper, and it's for these reasons why I don't think, this is what Willis is saying, he is enough to get us over the line. So it's from that perspective. Obviously, Newcastle at this current point in time, unless things change quite well in the transfer window, we're not at that stage yet. We haven't chased for the title just yet, right? So, but it's an interesting take, and I wanted to highlight kind of some of the things that he did like about Ramsdale. His overall view is in terms of Ramsdale shot stopping, sweeping, all these sweeping, handling. Um, is overall good, but not elite. That's his overall take. But he does. So, for instance, he says here, I have developed a bit of a reputation as a hater. And I just want to be upfront here. I do not hate him. This is what Mr. Willis says. I think he is a fine and adequate goalkeeper. That's his overall take. That fits what Arsenal attempt to do in possession. Or that fits what Arsenal attempt to do in possession. And remember, Arsenal are very, very good in possession. And this is another, even in his criticism of Ramsdale, it kind of reveals to me also the reasons why Eddie Howe wants him. Ramsdale is a great goalkeeper, is a good goalkeeper for a possession-based team, which is another indicator of when we know when Mr. Howe wants Newcastle to be. Yes, we're a very good transition team, and we play well on the counter attacking as well. But there is elements we want to be we are decent in possession, but we can be even better. And as people have already pointed out in the chat, Pope sort of holds us back from it. So even in his criticism, Willis does say that, look, he's an adequate keeper that fits what Arsenal attempt to do in possession. But I think he is not a massive plus for Arsenal like many in the fan base. I don't think the team needs to make an upgrade a priority, which is interesting. Obviously, at this point, they haven't got Raya, or they don't know even that Raya's in their sights. But it might also be something that, as the rest of the team gets better, which is true, and he has a great foresight in this, because obviously Arsenal do get Raya, that it becomes a spot where the team could pivot to try and get some marginal improvement. And really, this is where Newcastle at when we're getting Ramsdale instead of Mr. Pope, kind of as number one instead of Mr. Pope, for those marginal improvements for where Newcastle are currently at. So I wanted to highlight something else that he says about what Ramsdale's overall, obviously his overall take is that he's an adequate goalkeeper. He is okay, but he's not enough for us to go to be title challengers. What he's talking about, and he is proven right. Like a year later, they go for Raya. But even in this report, he does say this, and I wanted to highlight this with you guys. He says, where Ramsdale stands out, this is the quality where he stands out, is that he's above average at controlling his box, which is important for Newcastle United. I think this is why Eddie Howe really, really loves him. And he puts it in brackets. StatsBomb rates things on crosses that are actually climbable and how often the goalkeeper actually claims them. So crosses that are climbable and how often the goalkeeper actually claims them. So Eddie Howe, again, wants to build on Newcastle's ability through the goalkeeper, i.e. Ramsdale, to be even better at defending set pieces. And then he also goes on to say, and as one of his outstanding qualities, and acting as a sweeper keeper behind his backline. And if Mr. Pope's recent performances as a sweeper keeper goes to show, we need improvements in that area. So outstanding controlling his box, and outstanding in commanding as a sweeper keeper as well. Ramsdale does well to claim more balls in the box than expected, cutting out potentially dangerous chances. He is also a very aggressive player at coming off his line to clean up danger with aggressive distance line, and it kind of highlights this with some stats here as well. You can see just from the stats here where he claims them. So tackles attempted is about 0.003, interceptions and blocks per 90, ball recoveries, total defensive. But you can see here, if you just zoom in on this, not this, is it there? Here we go. To zoom out a little bit, you can see where he's at. Look how far he comes out to claim the ball, even up to the halfway line. Remember, playing for a possession-based team. Again, really strong indicators as to why Mr. Howe is looking at Mr. Ramsdale. And just the other thing I wanted to highlight was also this other report about Mr. Ramsdale. Where is it? Which came from The Athletic in 2023, actually, in the same month in 2023. Let me see if I can find it. They said there's an interesting paragraph in it. They kind of in this report, might make sure you guys can see it. So this report was done by goalkeeping expert Matt Podrowski and also by Mr. Art DeRouche. Now, they kind of given a comprehensive view on what makes Ramsdale a good shot stopper. And obviously, some of our resident Arsenal fans have actually talked about what makes Ramsdale a good shot stopper. But just before we get into that, they also highlighted something again. In possession, varied distribution allows Arsenal to take games in the direction that they want, which is exactly what Eddie Howe wants. He has been a reliable shot stopper for large stretches of the season, albeit with some dips in form. And it's not just through this report, it was the previous report that talks about Ramsdale's inconsistency. And I think that's what keeps him away from being an elite keeper. It's those inconsistencies in his performances and his dips in form, making saves at crucial points in matches to help his side either hold the lead or stay level. And they do a number of things about what makes him a really goalkeeper, his position and composure, how he comes out to save shots. So Mr. Podrowski says a lot of it comes down to decision making as well as Ramsdale's skill set and physical traits. He can afford to do that because he's so quick and athletic. He's really good at holding position, and when a striker puts his head down to shoot, he closes the angle. Part of the reason is he's excellent at spreading to make saves, where he throws his arms and his legs at the ball. So he's very, very kind of devoted, spreading himself and adrenaline. You can see his positioning there again. Players one-on-one, you can see in the picture there, makes himself really, really big. You can see it here. Again, making saves. There's something else they pointed out. And he talks about how, I think in this instant, he gets hit in the face by the ball, but he remains like he has really good. He still remains reactive. So Ramsdale's instant reaction to impact wasn't a wince. However, it was to go straight back to his feet, follow the ball back to Bamford's feet, and fall on it. Then came to pause and play for him to catch his breath. So he's got some really good attributes. You know, gets hit in the face by the ball, doesn't wince, and just reacts, making sure that he gets the ball safely. Talks about his hands position, where he makes the saves, and just the final video here about the save of the month he did in 2023. Again, this might bring back memories for some of our Arsenal fans here. So let me just show you this video. Make sure you guys can see it. All right, excellent. So let's see it here. Save of the month here from Fabian Rositzky. What? It's not Mr. Rositzky. Where's Ramsdale? It did have Ramsdale. Here we go, Ramsdale. Let's get this played. This is against Liverpool. Boom! Great save there. And that's the kind of stuff that he's fantastically capable of. Okay. Those key strengths: commanding his box, being an excellent sweeper keeper are the big reasons why Eddie Howe's looking for. But I think the key reason, one of the key reasons, is his ability on the ball. And I'm going to show this video of him, of what he's capable of doing on the ball as well, and how we know from previous conversations about how Eddie Howe really wants to improve how we play out from the back with a ball playing goalkeeper and a ball playing centre back, who by the grace of God is soon to come. And I want to be able to play this video to show you guys what he's able to do and what that will and how that will impact our very own gameplay as well. So before we move on, took myself off there. All right. So, but just before I do that, let me just see in terms of what we're seeing in the chat as well. Make sure I get myself ready first. So let me see what you got. What are you guys so far? Be really keen to hear. Mike Gent says, will the signing see a couple of goalkeepers out of the club? I hope so. Probably the Braff guy, I imagine. I saw Pope up for sale, possibly not up for sale, but apparently Man United are interested in Pope. Kim Cam Ramsdale, a good choice at this moment in time. Yeah, excellent. Jeff Barlow says Ramsdale is a low risk option for me. Clearly need to ship out Vlack. Yes, that's the other one. And one of the Pope or Dubs. I agree. Royal Red says big up from a Liverpool content creators. Keep up the good work. Thank you and God bless you, Royal Red. Really encouraging work from you there. Really appreciate you coming to the channel and saying that. Thank you. Matt Lou, good to see you. God bless you. Him and Pope have similar profile. Both can stop shots, but they can't kick the ball to save their lives. No, they can. And I'm going to show you a video, Matt, about how good Ramsdale can kick the ball. Robodrug, I see you found Scott. Best person to follow to maintain sanity in my fan base. Fair play, Phil. Who did I find? Who's Scott? Scott, who? Is that the author? Scott Willis? Let me know. Was that the author's name? I got myself off the chat. What have I done? Apologies, folks. I got myself off the chat somehow. How do I get out of that? Right, somehow I've got myself out of the chat. Okay, fantastic. We're back. Thank you. All right, so let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Aaron Camp says Ramsdale isn't the keeper I want, but a ball-playing goalkeeper is transformational for us. In the build-up, Tonali can stay higher. Ramsdale can play higher, and CBS split, giving us more options. Yes, the centre-back split. Yes. Absolutely. BT comes back with Ramsdale book valuation on Southampton balance sheet 2026 would be 12.5 million. Also, Arsenal have a selling clause in the Ramsdale contract with Southampton. Oh wow, I didn't know that. But let me know, BT. Do you think it's a good deal? Scott is purely a numbers guy. I personally, the author of the scouting report, yes, is a numbers guy. I personally trust and appreciate his insight. Okay, fair play, fair play. Ooh, another thing, Raya command of the box. Arteta said more than once, we don't know the things Raya protects the team from by claiming the ball and not needing to make saves like Ramsdale. Ah, okay, interesting. Oliver, good to see you. Any news on the DOF and CEO? Yes, there is, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in the show. If you can stick around, Oliver, it'd be great to have you, folks. But by the way, we've got 46 folks in the chat. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Last show we had 71 likes, which is absolutely phenomenal. We had like 1.5k views for a channel that's like less than half of that, which is down to you guys sharing, just down to you guys putting the channel out there, engaging, and everything else. So I appreciate you for that, guys. And please do continue to like, share, and subscribe. Oh gosh, that's why it keeps on changing, because I keep on pressing the wrong button. Olu says his best attributes are his reflexes and shooting. However, apart from the concentration issues, one major issue is his saving of low shots because he dips quite low before diving for a shot. Okay, I'm going to look out for that. I'm going to look out for that. Thank you. Bobo Chog says, memories, man. What would could have been if he just accepted to go high up the pitch, claim more crosses, man. Maybe that's something that he can work on. All right. So BT says, Cynical Jim says, 120k a week. No wonder Isak is. Fair play to you, Cynical Jim. BT says, a good deal. Oh, thank you for responding. A good deal at the right price. Also, his wages are a bit high. He's earned it. He's played at Arsenal. You're not going to play with, but fair play, BT. I know what you mean, and I think that's why we've got such flexibility. We've got a loan option as well. But thank you, BT. I appreciate that. You kind of really scouted him there. So we talked about this, and this is the key reason why I think Mr. Howe is looking at Mr. Ramsdale. It is his shooting ability. So make sure you guys can see it. Let me show you guys. And again, it's 8 minutes of ridiculous Ramsdale pass. Now, we're not going to do it for 8 minutes. We might do it for a minute. I want to get you guys to see and kind of highlight what Mr. Howe is liking about Mr. Ramsdale. Kept the music on there. Here we go. All right, so again, you can see, and it's exactly what Mr. So I had to go back. The art of a ball playing goalkeeper. That's interesting, and it goes back to it's going to show you here. And Aaron talked about it just now when you got two splitting centre halves. When you got two CBs that are splitting, you can see here. So you can imagine Shaw and Byrne splitting up like that, and essentially Ramsdale becomes like the third man in the defence. And again, it puts a striker in a situation where, am I going to press the keeper? Who do I press? So he just stays off him. It gives Ramsdale, because he knows that Ramsdale is good on the ball, he has to stay off him. And it gives Ramsdale this opportunity now to see the pass, which he's able to deliver right here. Long ball, absolutely fantastic. Again, great touch here from the Arsenal. And it talks, again, going back to that comment that was made in the scouting report, it gave Arsenal at the time that ability to be able to decide the direction of the game. And this is what Eddie Howe wants to be able to do: decide the direction of the game. Again, you can see. Sorry, I had to back up there a little bit. So that's the previous one. So again, you can see it here. This time against, I think it's Man United here. 3 centre backs. And you can see just behind the two midfielders are marking the two midfielders from Arsenal. And so it's a really, really high press. There's like 5 Man United players here, 3 here. And as again pointed out Aaron, you've got the 2 split centre backs here. You can see the full back here. Arsenal are trying to play out from the back. But Man United have to be careful because they know that Mr. Ramsdale can play with the ball. So let's see how he deals with pressure. Again, looks up. Look at that. Laser ball. Changes everything. Just with that movie, there's 5 Man United players in the opposition half. Now, and there's about 3 or 4 in Arsenal's half. Now, with that one ball, as they're heading up the pitch, it's 5v5. Changes the game just like that. And that's what Eddie Howe wants to be doing. Again, outside of his box, receives the ball, 2 splitting centre backs. Pressure from the front 3 here. Again, this is against Liverpool. I think this is at Anfield. Oh no, it's the Emirates. Again, looks up, long ball, direct ball, over the top. You can imagine that being Anthony Elanga, Anthony Gordon, Usola, maybe Alexander Isak. Let's see. And again, changes the entire direction of the game. It changes the entire direction of the game. Again, this is him. Is it again two Leicester City players up front? What's Ramsdale going to do? He's going to absolutely launch it with a really precise pass there, right directly in the middle here. Changes the game there. Picks up the ball, looks up, quick distribution. Again, he loves those drops the ball on his foot and lays it onto the Arsenal defender, onto Zinchenko there. Lovely take. Changes the face of the game again. Looks up, launches it again. We don't get this with Pope. We get it on the occasion, but not to this extent. Now Saka's I think that was Saka. Is that Saka? or was that Gabriel Jesus? 1v1 situation, changes the entire scope of the game, picks it up under pressure, but the striker is even hesitant to close him down because he knows Ramsdale's good on the ball. Lovely chip pass to the fullback, and now it launches a new attack. And with the pace and athleticism and strength of Newcastle's attack, it's going to be all sorts of problems. One more here, he's getting closed down. First touch. That was first touch. Straight into the Arsenal player, and they're off. And so I think that's the key reason why Mr. Howe is looking at Mr. Ramsdale for Newcastle's attack. It's his ability on the ball. Is he elite? No. But is he better than Pope? Yes. And right now, for Newcastle United, that is enough, essentially. That is what we need at this moment in time. So some really, really useful highlights there of Mr. Ramsdale. Let me know what you guys think of that. I'm pretty impressed. I'm liking it so far. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. And then we get to talk about Mr. Alexander Isak. And I'm sure whilst I'm on the show, there's going to be some update somehow on Mr. Isak. But just before we get into Mr. Isak and the drama over there, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let me get a drink of water. And see what's going on. Wow, that's incredible. Have we had a raid or something? We've got 75 people in the chat. That's absolutely amazing. Welcome. If there's new folks here, I imagine there is. Welcome to Toon Tactics TV, guys. God bless you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe. Clearly, people are liking, hitting that notification bell, and the views are rising all the time. God bless you guys. Welcome to the channel. So BT says a good deal at the right price. Also, his wages are a bit. Oh yes. We talked about that. Matt Lee, we should go for Inaki Penna from Barca, a good goalkeeper with an uncertain future. My friend Matt Lou, today Mr. Ramsdale has been confirmed to Newcastle, but I know what you're saying. There are other goalkeepers, but I think Mr. Ramsdale is the man that we're going for. BT says Pope current weekly wage is 60k a week. That's why I think we're going to have to move some players. We're definitely going to have to move some players in terms of from a wage point of view. Tino says, for sure, apart from not being brave on the crosses, he has everything. Is that Ramsdale? You must be talking about Ramsdale, right? Okay, fair play. Cretison Horror. Oh, sheesh. That is a hell of a name, but welcome to the channel. We'll be happy with 150 bid though. Yes, so if we talk about referring to Alexander Isak, Newcastle have been very clear on that price. I don't know why. Well, we're going to talk about Isak in a moment. I would love to get your take. Warbojog says, I think you are doing too much. Just show a comp of his. Oh, do you know what? I should have done that. SL's moments. Pretty sure that will see you fit the. Let me see if I can find just for the fun of it while we've got a little bit of time. Can we find anything on him? There is, but it's on shorts. I don't want to play shorts. Shorts is going to be crazy, but next time. Thanks for that. I'll keep that in mind next time. After I see his video interview, I'll play it. Mr. One Out, I'm good to see you. God bless you. Good evening, Philip, and the chat. Great to have you on. Wobodrog says, yes, his long passes are better than Raya's. Really? Wow. But Raya's braver and slightly better in short passes. Okay, when baiting the press. Okay. And you know, I think that's down to style. I don't think Eddie Howe is that interested in the short pass. He wants the diagonal and over the top, and I think he'll value Mr. Ramsdale super keeper, but it's just different styles, isn't it? Different strokes for different folks. Queen of Heart, good to see you. God bless you. Always amazing to have you on the chat. Hope you are well. Living life to the full. Couple more chats, and then we'll get to the saga. To the Isak stroke everything else saga. So Robson says our fullbacks and wingers are going to love us. Yes. Livermento, Hall, Gordon, Ilanga, Alexander Isak, if people can find him, or whoever's a striker. Benjamin Sesko. Goodness gracious. Kim Cam says, good point, Philip. Whatever it was that I hope I made it. Thank you, Kim Cam. C says, I hope you don't mind me calling you. I just can't pronounce it. But apologies if you don't like me saying it. I'll do my best to pronounce it. But bro, as a top 4 club, you analysing Ramsdale, and what you need is a joke thing. I'm glad that you think of us as a top 4 club. I appreciate you for that. But I think on this occasion, needs must. And I think overall that Mr. Ramsdale is an upgrade on what we're doing. But fair play to you. I appreciate that. Kim Cam says, okay, talking to Queen of Heart there. Aaron Cape says, our wingers always find themselves with their backs to goal. Yes. Off all the ball, goes into road Z. When Pope gets on the ball, would be nice to see a keeper who can find his man. Absolutely. And I think that's it in a nutshell. Please don't lie to me. Is this true? I know you're not lying, Mr. Watson. Forgive me. I know you're not lying. I know you're not lying. I'm saying it more like, be still my beating heart. Let me just. Is it true, Mr. Newcastle United are in advanced talks with Benjamin Sesko, according to Ben Jacobs? Let me just, because this obviously does lead us well into what we're going to talk about. In a moment, I can't see anything just yet. There is something from Transfer Checker, and I'll get onto a bit in a moment, but I'll get onto that. But thank you, Mr. Watson. Thank you for that update. Just a quick one. Oh, wow. Every time, because you guys are amazing with the chats, by the way. I'm going to read a few, and then we'll get on. I keep on thinking I'm about to reach the end, and then it pauses and it goes tons. So, okay. Stephen Harker says, just subscribe, Philip. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for subscribing. Well said, he's good on the ball. Thank you so much for that. And welcome to the channel. Welcome. God bless you. Before we get on to Mr. Isak. I'm going to do like an Isak stroke Benjamin Sesko and everybody else and Wissa, put it all together. So as always, guys, I need you guys to to get your views and keep us on track as well. Ginesta Wijnaldum says, Philip, you absolutely schooled Igal in that debate. I like the way you defended that club. I appreciate you for that, Ginesta. Igal is an incredible. I know you're not saying anything back, like but just want to say that Igal is an incredible content creator, and also just as an incredible gentleman off the camera as well. Like very, very, very genuine guy. But as I've said before on the show, I don't always like myself when I come off like debate shows because I don't know. But yes, I will always defend Newcastle United. I personally, and people have different ways of talking about their club, and I'll just let you guys know from the start. Like, if there's ever a moment, I just don't know if there ever will be, but if there is, fair play, where I would rip into even if maybe they deserve at some point, but especially in front of opposition fans, I would never rip into our club. I just don't. I can't. I would never do that. You got to keep your composure. It's like when boxers fight. If the guy that gets hit in the face says, "Oh, that hurt," you kind of give the game away. So, but no, it's not that I was feeling that in the show itself. But yes, thank you for that, Genius. I really appreciate it. I always welcome feedback, and if I've come across wrong or anything like that, do let me know. I appreciate that. But I really, at the same time, I also appreciate the encouraging comments. They really, really help me. So thank you for that, Ginesta. Strasbourg Steve, I know that I've seen many of your tweets. I know that you're not a fan of Mr. Ramsdale. I don't know if you had a chance to see my scouting report. on Mr. Ramsdale and what your thoughts are. But yes, Strasbourg Steve, and by the way, speaking of incredible content creators, Strasbourg Steve, when I first started getting into a content creating, Mr. Steve, Strasbourg Steve, was one of the first people I came on. Incredible guy. And he says, my head's gone, Philip. I know. And I always love your honest takes, Strasbourg Steve. But I'm hoping that Mr. Um, I'm stumbling now. I've lost my train of thought. My head's gone. I know Strasbourg Steve, his head's gone. That's it. I hope Mr. Ramsdale changes your mind in his performances, but fair play. At the Matrix moment. One more. Sir Galahad, God bless your opinions on pushing for Gallagher for some midfield depth. Let me know, Galahad, is that what's happening? Is that the news on the street, or do you think we should push for Gallagher? I to say that Mr. Gallagher is an Eddie Howe player is an understatement. He's right up Mr. Eddie Howe's street. It probably makes sense in terms of rotation with Joe Linton, so I can see that happening. Yes, my initial thoughts are yes. Yeah, I can see it happening. Wobbledrug says, "Damn, you're getting Sesko." Guys, I need to I'm going to look into this in a moment. Are we? That'll be great. The P and his agent reading the Athletic article made even more. What is happening with Mr. Sesko? Is there a go-ahead for that? Let me know. Okay. I'll read two more and then we'll get on to now that we're talking about Sesko, Isak, and everything else, I want to make sure that we get trying to read my schedule for today. And make sure that we see, so we see the Craig Coat video, a little bit of it as well. Mr. Cynical Jim says, I watched the video of Isak's goals and 90% of them came from a brilliant build-up and great crosses. We will score plenty with Sesko. Yes, I think so, and I hope so as well. Again, incredible to see 74 folks in the chat. It doesn't look like we've got a raid, so it sounds like it looks like we've got this is organic, which is absolutely amazing at this time of night. And guys, if you're new to the channel, you're absolutely welcome, and God bless you all. Great to have you on the show. Engage with this chat. You're so welcome. Like, share, and subscribe. Incredible stuff. Stephen Harker says it's getting closer, Philip. Okay, is that on the Sesko? That's great news. Great news. Warble Jog says Egal was defending PSR. Yeah, I know he was. And Philip wasn't having it. No, I couldn't. I can't do it anymore. I've sat on the fence. I've been for a year. I've been hearing arguments to and fro, and I'm just convinced that I think it needs reform, and I just sense. And this is credit to Mr. Tarak, the Liverpool fan on there. Like, he's for PSR, but he's acknowledging that it needs reform. And when it happens in those kind of conversations, I feel a lot more like it's a genuine conversation. I can understand that. So just one more here, a couple more. Ginesta says, smash the like. Yes, folks, please do. Smash the likes and subscribe. If you are new, it's free and it helps the channel massively. And you guys have been absolutely excellent with that. And someone, just to say, Chill says, welcome to the channel, Chills. God bless you. Chill says, subbed. Big up to you, Chills. Thank you so much for the sub. All right. Isak, Sesko, Yasir Al-Rumayyan, and everything on top of that. Let's get on it. Let's see where we are at. And I can already see I want to start with this make sure I share it with you first. It's funny because I'm going to start off with a Sesko Isak, because I think they're all kind of tied together now. Oh gosh. Sheesh. I'm switching myself off. Okay. Have I got it? Yes, I do. Make sure you guys can see it. Yes, you can. So Transfer Checker, who I really like, I think is a reliable source of information. Personally, I can't remember who he supports. I don't know if anybody knows who Transfer Checker supports. But he says this is in the back. Aaron Ramsdale is a better goalkeeper than James Trafford, which is interesting. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Newcastle got a better deal by missing out on the latter. Very, very interesting. But we've moved on from that. NUFC also working on striker additions. Johan Wissa talks slow but still open. I wonder what you guys' take is on Wissa. I'm asking a lot of questions here. I'm going to be and fair play. I am asking a lot of questions here. He's doing what Mr. Isak's doing. He's just refusing to play and train. I'm really not a fan of that. I don't know. Him and Mr. Phil Giles, the director of football for Brentford, know what gentleman's agreement they had. But it's not. If it's not on paper, then it did not happen. I am old school. Not even just old school, because I feel like this is like you're kind of conceding the point, and I'm not conceding. I'm not even going to say I'm old school. I just think it's the right thing to do to be a man or a woman of your word. And especially if you've signed a contract, that goes to Isak, that goes to Wissa, that goes to any player. It's either way. But I am quite big on that. Fulfill your duties that you have given. That's my initial take. Having said that, though, obviously we've talked about Wissa before, but what will folks feel about if Isak does go and we get Wissa and Benjamin Sesko? I'll be really curious to see what you guys are saying. So, anyway, Transfer Checker says Johan Wissa talks slow but still open. Deal to sign Benjamin Sesko practically in place should Alexander Isak leave, which is interesting. So, the perception is that Mr. Isak is to leave. That this is hinged on Mr. Isak leaving. Which is interesting. So how is it all going to play out is something I'm really keen to see. Let me just before we get onto Isak, I'm just trying to find this news on Sesko quickly, and then just to get ourselves up to date with everything. Ben Jacobs. I can't see anything from Ben Jacobs, guys. Who's talking about Sesko? Just a quick one. Who is talking about Sesko? Who is talking about Sesko? What's the latest? Is it advanced? What's going on? What are they saying, guys? Let me know. I can't see it. Where is it? There's a lot of fans saying Sesko, but I can't see where Newcastle are in this. I can't see where Newcastle are at. Where are Newcastle with this? Krish is given the eyes for Sesko and Newcastle, but I can't see anything further than that. All right, let me know if you guys have got a link. Do send it in the chat and I'll explore it. Okay, so that's Isak hinged on Wissa and Sesko getting over the line. From what we're getting, a little bit of rumors now seeping in that it looks like Sesko's there, or at least in advanced conversations. And Wissa talks are slow. There's also obviously the opportunity for Lewis Openda, who is a former partner in crime, or their frontline partners, which I don't mind. Obviously, they know each other's game if we went for a pender, but I think that'll be a little bit more costly than the Wissa deal. All right, so let me just go back to the bookmarks. I'm going to start it off with Mr. Isak, and I want to have a little conversation about him before I get onto Mr. Craig Hope's video. This is from the Anfield Watch. Now, this is their kind of, or Watch, not Anfield Watch, excuse me, not Anfield Watch, from Watch LFC. And this is their opinion on Graham Bailey's take. And it's not initially what they're saying. Alexander has gone missing, hence why my introduction. The Swedish striker isn't at the training ground. The situation has now reached a point where the striker has gone AWOL. Can anybody find Isak? Can anybody find Isak? Now, when we go into Bailey, he doesn't say that at all. What Mr. Bailey says right here is Alexander Isak has been absent from the Newcastle training ground since he limped out of training last week and pulled out of their tour to Asia. TBR Football understands Isak is instead training in his own home, which was up for rent today, and now it no longer is, as his future is being decided. I'm going to say this about Isak before I go into the Craig video. Now, there's a lot of words being said, or what he's allegedly said about Newcastle United. It started off with the 300k stuff on Tuesday. We talked about it, and I actually said then, I'll find it amazing that he's demanding 300k because he knows that's not something that's in our wage structure. And if he is doing that, I didn't believe that he was doing that. I thought that this is just a rumor, but it's proven to be the case. If we just go on what people are saying, he's demanded 300k. He's priced himself out of a deal. He never wanted to deal in the first place, which then for me goes back to what I'm about to say in a moment as well. But the main thing is, people will say we should have given him a deal back in last summer. Possibly. Hindsight is lucrative. At the time, he's had one good season, another season where he was out most of the time because of injury. Now, I wish we had better foresight, but I also see it from the club's point of view of, let's see you win your contract first. Because they have to also think of the captain and other players as well. He's proved it. But since January, I believe, and possibly even before that, Isak's head had been turned. And again, hindsight is lucrative. But had we given Mr. Isak that 200k, 250 maybe, what it could have got, what he wanted at the time, or maybe a little bit less, who's to say his head wouldn't have been turned anyway? And we're paying Mr. Isak more money, and he goes and does this anyway, not turn up for training, not go to the Asian tour. That's kind of like my initial thought to that. My overall thought in terms of Isak not going to training, and you've had some foreshadowing of that when we talked about Wissa and not going to the tour. I don't like that from any player. Even if it's from a player that wants to join Newcastle. Like, as much as I like Sesko, and I'm really looking forward to if he joins Newcastle United, if he then kicks off for RB Leipzig and doesn't go to training, I don't like that in the player. I also think there's two comments about what people are saying in terms of Newcastle United, and I understand it coming from rival fans to an extent, which are from Isak's camp. If this is coming from Isak's camp, which is, you would have seen it where they're saying Isak's concern is about Newcastle's lack of ambition, and disruption in our board. And I hope that this is just rumors. I hope this is just football aggregators, content creators, whoever it is, just looking for clicks and shares. I hope it's not coming from Isak's camp, because I would like to remind Mr. Isak, in terms of ambition, in the 3 years or 2.5, 3 years he's been at Newcastle United, he has seen 2 Champions League qualifications. He has seen 2 cup finals and a cup. Before he joined Newcastle United, and you can see Anthony Mango showed this in his channel, fantastic channel. I think it's Data Mob Stats. If you look at literally all the metrics for Alexander Isak before he joined Newcastle, and yes, he was a talented player, but after he joined Newcastle, where he is now, on all metrics, goal scoring, dribbling, carrying the ball, off the ball movements, goal efficiency, everything, he has seen a significant improvement at the courtesy, the training and development at Newcastle United. So he has a lot to be grateful for. On top of a lucrative contract at 130k for a striker that Arsenal weren't prepared to invest in, weren't prepared to trigger his very hefty release clause. Newcastle United, we took the chance on him. We put a significant investment in him. And we gave him the platform to where now he's a recognized one of the top 3, 4, 5 strikers in the world as a result of the platform Newcastle gave him, as a result of the training and development under Eddie Howe's stewardship that we have given him. And as I've mentioned, we have reached the ambition that we have shown whilst he's been at the club in what we have been able to achieve in 3.5 years. He wasn't there like Bruno Gomes when Newcastle was second from bottom. He did not, again like Bruno Gomes, have no conditions in his contract to say if Newcastle were to get relegated, he would still be at the club. Bruno Gomes said that he would be at the club. Bruno Gomes, when he was looked at Man City and fair play, he had a release clause, but he never disgraced the club in this fashion. Never in his life refused to turn up training. Never in his life put the club and our reputation under disrepute just because his head had been turned. And I really hope, from Mr. Isak's point of view, that these rumors coming out about him talking about our club's ambition are not true. I sincerely hope, Mr. Isak, that is not true. And this thing about Isak outgrowing the club, we built Isak to where he is now. And had he, and I can see that he's a young man, all I would love, what would be and this is what, as you are, as a young man, need to learn and to grow and to understand, is to accept your own faults and your own sins. You have had your head turned. Just admit it. Liverpool are a global brand, a powerhouse, and they are building a dynasty. And I want to be part of that journey. Just say that. But don't start saying things like Newcastle are not ambitious, when in the 3 years, as I pointed out, you have seen the ambition of the club. And talking about our transfers, as I pointed out in the first half of the show, every player, and I understand fans having a banter about it, but no fan can say that Newcastle didn't go for the best quality of players available. Dean Huijsen, João Pedro, Hugo Ekitike, Liam Delap, so many others that I can't think of on top of my head right now. These are players wanted by Real Madrid, Liverpool, Man United, all these other players. That's ambition. we're not going for players, with all respect, to what mid-table clubs, of what mid-table or lower mid-table clubs are looking at. We're not doing that. We're looking for the best of the best. And by the grace of God, should we get Benjamin Sesko over the line, that is another proof of that. So I just hope, because Mr. Isak has brought us many wonderful memories, and he has given me a lot of banter to give to rival clubs and a lot of sway in terms of conversations about best strikers. And I want to remember for that. I just hope that these rumors about our ambition and all these other stuff, I understand it from rival clubs, but I sincerely hope it's not coming from Isak. I think I'll just end it on this in terms of his overall behavior. And look how our players are protecting you. Kieran Trippier saying he's injured. I'm telling you, he's injured. We all know that he's not injured. He knows that he's not injured, but he's protecting you and he's leaving the door open for you to come back to the club. That is the love and that is the respect this club, this fans, our players, our manager has shown you. Please do not spit into our face and start sending out rumors about your unhappiness with our ambition and everything else. You know what this club has done for you. You know what Eddie Howe has done for you. Please, 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 I hope these rumors about you talking about our ambition are not true. All right. So I didn't anticipate I'll go on this long. I am going to play a Craig Hope video with his take on the Isak situation. I had a lot more to kind of to talk about that, but I'll show a few clips. Let me just set it up, and I'll also just get you guys take quickly. And Craig Hope's been absolutely excellent. He's obviously in Singapore at the moment, and I had a lot more clips, more kind of sides to it, but I really didn't expect to go this long about it, and but maybe I had it on my chest a lot more than I anticipated, because I do really want to remember Mr. Isak in the best way possible, because I think it's important to be that. I'm not gonna start talking crazy and say you weren't all that and all of that, because it's not true. We've built a magnificent striker, courtesy of Newcastle United. And I think it's important that is remembered. Folks, please do like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to read a few of your comments as well before I just get a Mr. Craig Hope update. Someone told me that. Okay, yes, someone said. Who said it? Before I get onto Aaron. Oh gosh, can't make this work. Here we go. Juniesta, thank you for that. He supports Brentford. I thought he did. Thank you for that, Juniesta. I like Transfer Checker. Aaron Kemp says, in my opinion, we should be holding on to Isak. If no club can match our 150 million, he stays. We won't sell for less. Fair play. David Eddie says, Philip, your channel is nice and chilled. Thank you so much for that, Eddie. And you guys make it nice and chilled. Some of the other podcasts regarding NUFC are getting too argumentative. It's a bit stressful at times. I haven't seen. I know what you mean, though. In terms of just in general, like it's. I know. I understand. Maybe my last speech, though, maybe it's become a little bit. Maybe I caused a bit. I've read it now. Maybe if I read your comment first, I would have been a little. I hope I didn't come too distressful. It just came out. Kim Cam Ram, but I appreciate the encouraging comments. Thank you, Davey. Kim Cam Ramsdale will be loved by the supporters. He's passionate and a fighter. I think so too. Adrian says Isak and Sesko up front, Wissa on the bench sorted. Yes. That would be a hell of a window. Stephen Harker says Wissa is a yes for me. He only wants Newcastle as well. I'm not a fan, but he was promised, so fair play. Yep, that could be the situation. Destiny 5, God bless you. Good to see you. Well, Mr. Tooney. What's your feeling about Isak now? Wow, what's happened? Let me know. There's something developed. I don't know if you just heard I just spoke about him at length, but uh, if something has happened during that time, do let me know. No, excuse me. Janiessa says, I think Ramsdale and Trafford are on the same level right now, but Trafford is like 5 years younger and a high ceiling. Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good take. Sir Callahan says 19 goals, only a few less than Isak than last season, would have more chances in a team like ours. So yeah, his goal output is very, 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 very good. I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. Wobajog says TLDR of the article is about how we ended up with Gyökeres. Basically, he didn't want to lock down his personal terms early in the window to keep his options open. RB Isle and his agent has insurance demand, insane demands. Oh, okay. Looks like we've met those insane demands. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. I'll talk about that in a moment a little bit more about, but I appreciate you for that, Wobajog. Let me see if anybody else has anything about Mr. Isak situation. Oh, Janista says we're 23 subscribers away from 800. That's absolutely amazing. We only made to 700 not too long ago. Guys, we've got 81 folks in the chat. If you haven't subbed already, if you haven't liked already, but if you haven't subbed, especially if you're enjoying the show, guys, feel free to sub. It will be absolutely phenomenal to have you. And look, chat, look what's happening. People are subscribing because you guys are liking and subscribing. You guys are engaging, and we're getting so many views, and people are coming out because of you guys' engagement. Drunk Vigo says Isak the Liverpool deal is most likely already done. It could be, and he says it's just not been made public. That could be a strong possibility because obviously everybody knows that we've got 150 million. I hope it's 150 million. Then everybody else is going to pop their prices, aren't they? You are looking for a striker because the deal is done. That is very possible. Davey says, I really want Isak out of NUFC. He should also be heavily fined. He cannot dictate to the club. I'm really foaming with the fella. His agent wants his 10 million plus for the deal. He's pushing the deal, in my opinion. That is very, very likely. Agent fees, intermediaries, everybody is looking to get something over the line. Drunk Bingo says Isak owes you nothing. Okay. Isak isn't born and raised in Newcastle. Okay. There is a hierarchy and a food chain of football and the world. Okay, we're doing the hierarchy and food chain stuff. We hear it all the time. And fair play, there are bigger clubs. You're going to have to pay a lot of money. Just pay the money. Like, this is a whole lot of bluster and a whole lot of talk. We're a big club. We're legendary. Yes, you're a big club. You're a global brand. No one's disputed that. 150 million pound, please, and we'll keep it moving. Neither did Trent or Stevie G. Christian Fernandez says, Drunk Vingo, neither did Trent or Stevie G when Liverpool threatened him and his girlfriend. Okay, wow. We're getting into a conversation here. Davey Eddy says, Philip, we've went for top players. I agree. We just lost out to clubs with bigger resources at the moment. At the moment in time, I believe we shall catch up. We'll see. I agree with that. Queen of Hearts says, hit the likes, folks, and nearly there. Are we nearly to 800, folks? You guys are phenomenal, honestly. And I can see 84 people in the chat, which is, I thought that we had a raid from somebody, but folks, I've got 84 people in the chat. You guys are absolutely incredible. Again, the likes, the shares, the notifications, the engagement. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. All right, back to Mr. Craig Hope. I want to play just a couple from it because I'm fast running out of time. I wanted to do a Sesko scouting report, and as soon as we're talking about him, if I get, I've never tried this before because we might go over time, but if I get 20 people saying Sesko in the chat, I will do the scouting report. If I get 20 folks, that's again 20 folks in the chat saying Sesko, 20 different folks, not one person saying Sesko, by the way. But if I get 20 different folks saying Sesko, I'll make sure I'll go a little bit over time and we'll do a little bit of a Sesko scouting report. Okay, so this first part, Mr. Hope talks about his view of, he's just come out of the conference, the press conference for Howe. And he notes something about what Howe says about the whole Isak situation and how, we are in control to a degree, obviously, over his contract and everything else. And this is what Mr. Hope says.
I think what he's talking to is the fact that, yes, he's got a 3-year contract there. They are in a strong position financially. If Newcastle don't want to sell, they don't have to sell. If Liverpool come in with an offer that's way below what they deem to be market value for Alexander, it's like they don't have to sell. They don't have to sell on any level, really. But I think the use of the word "to a degree" was perhaps talking to the fact that they've got a player who wants to go. They've got a player who, to all intents and purposes, has refused a strong word. Well, he certainly ruled himself out of this tour here in the Far East, even though that scan on the thigh did come back clear. So it's a difficult, complex situation.
So yeah, it's a difficult situation. We are in control to the extent that we've got Isak on a 3-year contract. The player wants to go. In Isak, he's refusing to play, and that's the situation that we're in. But it has to be on our terms, and this leads me to this part where Mr. Hope emphasizes that.
To do a loan deal for Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea and revisiting Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it's got to be on Newcastle's terms.
Right, so he's saying it can't be us getting just essentially lower quality players to satisfy Isak and Liverpool. It's got to be on our terms.
I feel strongly about that, and of course Eddie Howe does as well. So the answer to the question we're all asking, does Alexander Isak go to Liverpool? It's still to be determined by several factors that haven't yet played out. Johan Wissa had an update on that this morning. I was trying to have a nap and I took a call on that. Yeah. Quick insert here, guys. I don't know what day it is. So when I left the stage...
So he goes, Wissa, the likes of Wissa and Sesko coming in are the type of steps and things that need to happen in order to get the Isak situation resolved. But also our own demands, even though Liverpool claim that we haven't made demands just yet, in terms of the money that we expect for Isak to be met. That's the important part of it. And Newcastle, in my opinion, and I think someone said it before, shouldn't be afraid to put Isak in the reserves for the year. Because come this summer, Barcelona, after they sell Lewandowski, Bayern Munich, after they sell Harry Kane, will come calling for Mr. Isak. We will still get that 100+ million. I'm pretty confident with that. I don't think Newcastle should be afraid to do that. I don't think they will be, in my opinion. So it has to be on Newcastle terms. It has to be on what we want. And so that's how I wanted to round it off. That situation with Isak. And from what folks are saying in the chat and in X, it appears that we're in some sort of advanced negotiations for Sesko. So that certainly puts us, is another step closer to possibly Isak going. So fair enough. I'm just trying to find anything on Sesko at this moment in time. I cannot see anything on like from anybody like a big media outlet. I just see a lot of fan stuff, but that's my immediate thought. Oh, okay. All right, folks. Just as I found not the Benjamin Sesko. It's not Benjamin Sesko. It's Ben Jacobs talking about Benjamin Sesko. So let's just see this quickly. Then I'll go into the chat, and if I get 20 Seskos, then I might talk about it anyway. But it depends who hangs around. But no, just give us 20 Seskos, and we'll talk about it before, or otherwise we'll conclude the show. All right, so live and direct. We've got this from Mr. He's on Manchester. It's on MUTV. Okay, let's see. This is where the people have got it from. Can you guys see this? What guys can you see? You can see. Okay. Let me view the tab. Let me expand. All right, let's see.
Than for Ollie Watkins, because Newcastle are advanced on the players.
Hold on.
And if Manchester United want Sesko, they're going to have to be quicker than for Ollie Watkins, because Newcastle are advanced on the player side. They're in club-to-club talks. They're ready to bid. Manchester United is still having an internal debate and conversation. And
okay, so we're ready to bid. We're in club-to-club talks. Okay, I thought the terms of Sesko had been agreed, even though I think it was. There's a couple people. There was one site saying it's been agreed, but then that got taken down by Plettenberg and others. Okay.
As a consequence, that outreach for both Watkins and Sesko is still formative. But I get the impression this is a big week in the pursuit of a number 9, because if it's Sesko, Manchester United are going to have to get moving. If we hear a bit of a lull, it probably means they're looking for proven Premier League experience, and they genuinely believe that Watkins might become available. And if Manchester United want...
And I do think, and I heard Graham Bailey talking about it yesterday on the Loaded Mag, another phenomenal channel. Before I go into content creating, was one of the channels I used to watch a lot. Graham Bailey said that if anything, there's going to be deals with Man United, Chelsea, and I forgot the third club around Nicholas Jackson going to Villa, possibly Morgan Rogers going to Chelsea, Garnacho going to Chelsea because they're giving payback for Mount. Who's the other player left? Ollie Watkins. Man United again, Ollie Watkins. And there's a striker that Calvert-Lewin, not Calvert-Lewin. That's it. Nicholas Jackson to Villa, Watkins to Man United, Garnacho to Chelsea. That kind of stuff going on. So everybody's fixing each other's PSR. So that's the situation. All right. So let's see what folks are saying in the chat. As I said, folks, if I see 20 Seskos, I will do a Sesko. Gosh, you guys have done it. Oh my word. You guys are phenomenal. I didn't even think. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, you guys are phenomenal. I did underestimate you. I won't lie. I did underestimate you. I thought, no way, you're getting to midnight. You guys aren't going to do this. But Genius says 50. Are we 15 subs away from 800? Guys, if we get into 800 live on Toon Tactics TV, that would be absolutely phenomenal. You guys are absolutely on fire. Okay. Yeah, I pretty much see Kamal, Aaron, Queen of Heart, Big Watson, Sesko, C, Sesko, Matlu, Sesko, Davey, Graham Stonebacks is back. King Adam, Sesko. Okay. Kishan says Sesko. You're going to be calling him Harrods by the end of the season. If Isak, BT says, if Isak favorite player and he receives a call from any club, told them he is not for sale. Fair play. Davey says Sesko. All right. We'll do the Sesko for real. I'll read a couple of comments. I won't read too much because otherwise I don't want to. You guys are just too phenomenal, to be honest. I saw something from I think it's a Liverpool fan. Brilliant. I've got a Liverpool fan on. Let me scratch my ear. All right, Liverpool Goals TV. Okay, guys, welcome to the channel, guys. God bless you. Great to have you on. And Liverpool Goals says Richard Hughes, our sporting director, has already been to Saudi. Okay, the deal is done. Okay, we went through the same thing with Coutinho. Now you will be able to get some new signings over the line. Okay, so we've got it live and direct from Liverpool Goals. Liverpool Goals, just to say, our chairman, we don't know whether he's in Newcastle or whether he's in. Someone told us he's in Phoenix, Arizona. So if Mr. Richard Hughes is in Saudi, I don't. He might not have been talking to Yasir Al-Rumayyan, but yeah, if that's the case, it might be something that's been kept quiet for a while, so that Newcastle got some space and time. It's interesting we've got Ramsdale over the line, possibly got Sesko now. If we get another forward in Wissa and a centre back, we might start seeing some announcements soon as well. So that would not surprise me. Lots of Seskos. Goodness, you guys went into the 30s. All right, so Sesko. Oh, the chairman's in Newcastle. He is. All right. So that's where we are in terms of Mr. Isak. Some people are saying that the deal is already done. What Newcastle from Newcastle sources, well, the Newcastle consistently telling Newcastle sources are, we're not even given the price yet. That's my view. That's my view currently. Just because until we got the signatures of your Benjamin Seskos, Johan Wissers, Aaron Ramsdale, whoever on earth is going to be the new centre back, Newcastle will be absolutely foolish to let Isak go. It would be absolutely insane. And I say that, sheesh, I will really criticize the owners if they did that. It wouldn't make sense. We need to secure our strikers, plural strikers, before we start doing all of that. So that will be my overall take on that. All right, so we're gonna move on to the Benjamin Sesko scouting report. Has been on highly demand from the chat and what folks have been saying. I had a Ross Wilson interview. Okay, that would have to be for that'll be for show on Thursday, because I've got a lovely Ross Wilson, our sporting director, interview from him. He comes so highly recommended from Nottingham Forest fans, from everybody around. Not everybody. There hasn't been everybody. Not everybody's. I think Rangers, some Rangers fans, but we'll see. But he comes highly recommended. Somebody else spoke really highly of him. I want to give him his proper time and his proper due. And so should our CEO. So I'm going to push it back to Thursday. Hopefully we'll get it done. But you guys have demanded it. You will do and I want to do it, which is to talk about Mr. Sesko. And it looks like Newcastle are advancing the deal, are in club-to-club talks, according to Ben Jacobs. We are in club-to-club talks, and we are obviously discussing it with just trying to find, here we go, the scout report. And we are discussing it with his what's his name? With his representatives and his agent. So a lot going on there. So we talked about him a little bit, but there's a bit more in-depth conversations about him. We talked about him on last week with Mr. Bobby Fairview, with Mitch. We looked a little bit on his shooting. and which was kind of interesting to see his first touch and everything else. So we've got a bit of a more of a kind of a more detailed review of Benjamin Sesko from the scouting report. I'm just trying to see if I can get a quick YouTube video, not just his shooting, but his overall stuff, his overall play, skills and goals. How about Benjamin so I can end it with his skills and goals? Skills and goals. Yeah. Okay, so we put that on there. But let's do this scouting report and see what you guys are saying. Make sure you guys can see it. Yes, you can. Absolutely fantastic. 86 people in the chat. Absolutely phenomenal. You guys are absolutely crushing it today. Unbelievable. You are absolutely, and again, God bless the Liverpool fans that have been coming on as well. Been, from what I've seen, been really, really respectful. And it's partly why I'm kind of really, I acknowledge that. All right, so this is Benjamin Sesko's position and style of play. I love to know this stuff. Really, really love to know this stuff. And this is from the coach's voice. You know, I really rate coach's voice. Really, really rate coach's voice. I love their stuff. And obviously, it says powered by Wisecout. So they use their Wisecout. This is July the 17th, 2025. So only, 12 days ago? Interesting. So I think this is probably on the back of all the stuff that's happening, all the discussions. I also advise folks to look at Adam Cleary's tactical analysis of Benjamin Sesko. You guys know how much I love Adam Cleary, also a Newcastle fan, but that's not why I love him. I think it's because he's a fantastic football analyst. And so, yeah, I encourage you guys to look at it on the YouTube videos. Oh, okay, is that here? You got a YouTube video here. So I get to do two birds in one stone rather than flicking from one screen to the next. Okay, so coach's voice, Wisecout. This has happened 12 days ago. Benjamin Sesko has emerged as one of the most talked about young attackers in European football. Yes, the Slovenian performances have led to transfer links with Champions League contenders, not least Arsenal. All by the age of 22. He is very, very young. Guys, how old was Isak when he came to Newcastle? He must have been 23, 22 as well, with the promise of years of top level football ahead of him. So very promising there. Born in 2003, Sesko moved from Slovenia to Austria at the age of 16 to sign for Red Bull Salzburg. He has then immediately loaned to their second division feeder club, FC Leipzig, where he scored 20 goals in his second season. So he would have been like 17, 18, which is phenomenal. His return to Salzburg yielded a goal, a league and cup double. Wow, his return to Salzburg yielded a league and cup double. So he would have been 18, 19 in 21-22, and another league title. So he'd have been 21 in the 22-20. No, he would have been 20. It also led to, in 22-23 season, it also led to a move to RB Leipzig in Germany. So by that time, he'd already achieved league and cup doubles, 21 goals in the season. Phenomenal stuff. And then a move to RB Leipzig in Germany, where he scored 39 goals in 87 games. So, yeah, good return in his first two seasons. So not too far off 1 and 2 games. Along the way, he has also netted 16 goals in his first 41 appearances for Slovenia, 5 of which helped his country to qualify for Euro 2024. Below, our UEFA licensed coaches have analysed the exciting strikers game. I love that. UEFA licensed coaches. So we've got some expert analysis here. All right, so technical analysis. And if we actually do get Benjamin Sesko over the line, I might use Adam Cleary's videos for our next show. Technical analysis. Benjamin Sesko is a right-footed centre forward with a very powerful strike, though we've seen in his previous video he can do 2 feet. Even with little backlift and looking like he is off balance, he is able to produce powerful attempts at goal. He appears to prefer finishing with power, but his lower limb strength means that even when he looks like he's not applied much effort, his strikes are still powerful. So he's got a lot of power in his shots. He has also developed his penalty area instincts, improving his anticipation of potential goal scoring opportunities. That means he's able to adjust when the poor ball is played into him, even if he has taken a deflection, or if he has a poor first touch himself. He simply adjusts and settles the ball in order to get a shot off. Even if it is not a particularly clean strike, his appetite to score is evident. So he's clearly got a ruthless edge to him. And you can see here in his graph here, like taking these shots outside the goal here. His hunger for goals is probably most evident in counter-attacks. Newcastle would love that. He may be out of range or position depending on the previous phase of play, but he will do what he can to get into scoring positions, whether inside the box or for one of his powerful long-range efforts below. So you see him there, I think it's from 30 yards out there, which is brilliant to see. He is 6'4". I think he might be taller than Isak. He offers an obvious aerial threat. He can run across his marker, but also move away to dominate the space behind. So you can see, dominate the space behind. Indeed, his double movements, when tightly marked, are useful for manipulating his marker, freeing up space from which he wants to finish. So good movement. By the way, Isak has phenomenal movement. Once it opens up, he has impressive pace using double movements to receive. He has impressive pace. Where is it? Pace using double movements to receive in behind, as well as dropping deeper. He can move away from the ball first, then show to feet, or vice versa. When moving towards the ball as a second movement, he uses his size and physicality to pin opponents. And we saw, if you include that with what we saw earlier with Ramsdale, his pin balls into strikers, you can see that working very, very well with Mr. Sesko. And then you can see Anthony Gordon and Anthony Langen running off him, and it's absolute danger for the opposition. But if the ball is not released by a teammate and his direct opponent has committed to following his dropper movement, he can spin away to receive on the move. He does this centrally as well as in the wide areas. And you've got this example here, him spinning off his opponent, and you can see the space that's created there. And you can see the ball about to flash into him, and he's creating that space. And you can also see, actually not too far from him, Mr. Pender. Again, you can see Newcastle very likely to play the 4-4-2 at some points as well during the games. Compared to other forwards, Sesko has surprising agility on the ball. Again, very similar trends to Isak, and is comfortable taking on opponents. He usually does this in preparation for a shot, but can also beat an opponent to then release the link with his teammates. This is typically when he is beaten between the lines, especially after a double movement that ends with him dropping away from the opposing back line to receive. When an opponent jumps out, he can twist and work the ball away from the pressure. So he seems to have some intelligence about what he's doing, pushing beyond to progress the play. Rather than carrying the ball much further, though, he often looks to release, or even if relatively far from the goal, he may still shoot. Now, I did see from Adam Cleary's video that, yes, there is obviously videos of his incredible goals outside the area, but I think that's about 2 goals. And essentially, most of them are misses. And what Adam Cleary pointed out is that the same thing that Eddie Howe works on Isak one was what he would likely work on with Sesko is getting Sesko in between the goalposts as often as possible. So you would have seen this year a significant increase in Isak's goals in the penalty box. And I think this is something that Eddie Howe is going to really work on with Sesko in. So we may see less shots outside the box from Mr. Sesko and a lot more intention, lethal intention to be in the box and to take advantage that way and to get goals that way as well. So I think that's what you're going to see. Out of possession, without the ball, Sesko commits to immediate counter-pressing, again, which is what Newcastle and Eddie Howe would love. and he's very aggressive in close spaces, especially if he has been dispossessed. He works to help others, and this is the RB Leipzig's mode of play outside the ball. So this is nothing new. Pressing back towards his own goal in support of midfield teammates. Phenomenal for Newcastle United. Sometimes, however, he can be too aggressive, and as my friend Olu points out, Newcastle United do not mind players that are too aggressive. Oh, goodness. He needs to be mindful of how opponents may try to buy cheap fouls when he's counter-pressing. Okay, so there's some skullduggery. Welcome to Newcastle United. Some dark arts. Welcome to Newcastle United. When pressing or defending for longer periods, he can force the ball into traps. Again, great. He curves his so you can see it here. How he curves his runs to trap the ball. Very, very, very good. So he can force the ball into traps. He curves his approach to the ball, cutting passing options where possible. More importantly, he looks to force the opposing ball carrier into one of his oncoming teammates. This limits forward press. So you can imagine Sesko, Gordon, Elanga, Tonali, Bruno, Joe Linton. It's going to be a very good pressing team. More importantly, he looks to force the opposing ball carrier into one of his oncoming teammates. This limits forward progress, but also increases the chance of his teammates winning the ball back. If ball is played forward, Sesko would often press backwards to disrupt the forward pass as much as possible. And you can see it here. It works very, 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 very hard off the ball there, which is important for Newcastle United. Against more direct play, he can drop much more deeper than the front line, acting as the first aerial presence in the midfield unit. This can make him a valuable addition, for first contacts, limiting direct balls targeting that space or off the balls under hit by the opposition. So that would help us, especially against teams that are going to, hit the ball directly over us. Centre forward, during Sesko, so this is him as a centre forward. Let me know what you guys think of him so far. That's some impressive stuff there in terms of what they're saying. I need a drink of water. So centre forward. During Sesko's time at the club, RB Leipzig have occasionally played with the back three, which has meant he has operated in a narrow front three. Interesting. But mostly he has played as one of, because we don't really play we play a back three. We do play in a back three in different phases of play, mainly when we're pressing against the opposition, and either one of our fullbacks in terms of Livramento or Hall will press up and you get a back three. Sometimes you get the midfielder dropping back in, but if we're being really aggressive, we'd have a back three. Okay, but mostly he has played as one of the centre forward pair, working alongside either Lewis Openda or Yusuf Poulsen. So he's very used to having someone playing alongside him. So Sesko Gordon, Sesko Elanga, primarily playing an initial 4-4-2. As I keep on telling him, and had these crazy lengthy debates with my fellow content creators, Newcastle, especially when it came to the Hugo Ekitike stuff, Newcastle can and have played in a 4-4-2, and we do that in various phases. Now, apparently, that Mr. Isak is strongly rumoured to go to Liverpool. Yes, 4-4-2 makes sense. Interesting. The movement of Sesko and his partner has often been complementary. Intelligence. If one has widened, the other remains central. So, Sesko central, partner widen, Sesko's wide. When one dropped short, the other penetrated. If one stretched the last line during wide play, the others held back for cutbacks. Sesko has enough variety in his game to adapt to each scenario, as well as possessing the quality to impact the opponent's goal. It's going to be really interesting to see how he plays with us. From 4-4-2, RB's wide players, whether Jamesons or Danny Almo, Christoph Baumgartner or Emil Forsberg, have tended to significantly narrow when attacking. As such, the 4-4-2 has converted into a 4-2-2-2, or simply a less defined structure with lots of rotating attackers. So we have fluid play. Something you'd have seen, not necessarily that, but something similar to that against Chelsea at home. Attackers in the central spaces and the fullbacks providing width. Good. So here Sesko has combined well and penetrative and fluid movements around him, creating, so this is here. So you can see it here, Sesko right in the middle here with with the is this him defending? I think this is him defending, which is incredible. No, sorry, we're in the red. No, RB Leipzig in the red. So you can see him centrally here, taking up positions with Simmons and Openda on the other side. So you can see they're very narrow. I wonder if Eddie Howe would do something like that. So you can imagine Sesko in the middle here with Gordon, Gordon and Elanga centrally here. You kind of saw that against Arsenal-ish with Livramento and Haaland either side. Bruno, this is really aggressive though. Bruno, Tonali, and Joe Linton. It's a really aggressive front forward play. Here's Sesko as well, combined with penetrative movements and fluid movements around him, creating and scoring combinations of particularly complementary Simmons and Olmo. His dropping away from the backlines has supported the two attacking midfielders, but also created space for them to move in behind if attacking midfielders, but also if needed. Quick combinations using Sesko dropping has allowed the deeper midfielders, so again, breaking down low blocks, allowed him to drop deeper. From there, Sesko would often attack the goal ready for the next phase or creating space and chances for centre forward teammates like Openda or Paulson to finish. So that's really good. So I think with Sesko, I can imagine Elanga's and Gordon's goal tallies beginning to increase. So they said the whole got nearly finished there. When Sesko led the line for RB Salzburg this time, the previous team, he also operated in a centre forward pair, albeit ahead of a diamond in midfield. This meant more spaces existed either side of the single number 10. Okay, in the 4-4-2 in comparison to Leipzig's much busier central shape. As a result, Sesko offered a very similar combinations and threats as Austria, but with more opportunities to link up. This has especially the case when moving forward towards the ball from the goal. Okay, so you can see, So at RB Red Bull Salzburg, Sesko was partnered with Sekou Koita or Junior Adamu. As of his time in Germany, he connected well with central teammates. So Bruno, Tonali, to create and score. He also has more scope to drift to the wide and attack from the inside channel, or move well on wide areas below, especially if the distance was too big or the fullback or for the fullback to make up. Sesko favored the left side inside channel, but varied his movements to allow him to eventually end up back in the central position, which is where Eddie Howe will try to work him. So where is he here? So you can see him there on the left flank. Eventually gets into the central areas there. You can see him get into the central areas there, not too far from Konate. You can see how the midfield is very, very busy in the central areas here. Again, like he's connecting, but he's also with that midfield, and I can just see that. You can see where Eddie Howe's heading with this. Okay, so his attacking play and goals have graced Austria, Germany, the Champions League, and the international football in recent seasons. Certainly, RB Leipzig fans will be hoping he continues to star in their colours, Slovenia. Meanwhile, he will likely need him firing if they're to qualify to 2026. Okay, so that was really super in depth in terms of where he's at. His movement, his intelligence, his ability to connect with the midfield, his double movements, his pace, his willingness to go out wide, his ability to connect with not only with his striking partners but also with the midfield, his ability to be a target man, which again, if you connect that with Ramsdale, if you connect that with a ball playing centre back, all of this leads to Newcastle having a player that can run behind the lines, a player that can also carry the ball from central areas or wide areas, a player that can create space not only for himself but his teammates, a player that seems to be, again, this will be tested really, really strongly in the Premier League, but has the ability to break down low blocks. That's certainly how RB Leipzig use him in in Germany. So really, really impressive stuff. I want to just quickly see. Will it show his goals and skills? He hits the. Okay, so let's see this video from that's on here as well. Make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can.
This time
Hey, don't do that to me. All right, so I'll pause that. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. Let's see some highlights from him as well. Okay, so right from the beginning here. Right from the beginning. Sorry, guys, to be like this. But you can see again. So RB Leipzig are in the white. They're about to break. You can see they're talking about this movement here. So first he drops in front of the centre back. I think they're playing Bayern Munich here. I think this might be not Kieran Dyer. Something Dyer. I forgot his first name now. So Sesko's in front of him. The ball's about to release. Let's see his pace. You're going to see his pace. This is not too far from his box, about 20, 30 yards from his own box. And he's off. Dyer is absolutely frightened out of his wits. The ball's released. Pace, power. He outruns him after starting in behind him. Dyer loses him. Oh, with the outside of the boot. Phenomenal. In one movement. That is absolutely phenomenal. And I think this is what Eddie Howe is looking for. Gosh, this is not good in terms of this is really this video is a bit stop and start. Let me see if I can refresh it a bit. Let me see if I can refresh it. It's a bit. It's a bit stop-starty. I'll give it it's a bit stop-starty. Okay. Let me see if I can. I'll give it one more go. But again, that's that ability that ability to counter attack. His pace. He started off in front of Dyer, ends up being behind him as well. So getting in behind him, which is this again. When you got someone that can run beyond the lines like that, is absolutely phenomenal. So you guys just saw that. Let's see how it goes here. And he takes it to have the confidence as well. He sees the goalkeeper of his line. It's a bit stop-starty for me, guys. Let me see if I can find a better one. It's a bit too stop-starty for me. Oh, I found a video, the same video, but it's a different one. Hopefully it's a little bit quicker. Let me see. Are you quicker? Yes, you are. All right, so let me show this video before we wrap up. I'll show the video and I'll get you guys' take and then we wrap up. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. Okay, make sure you guys can see this. Benjamin Sesko. All right, so counter-attacking, started off behind him, now he's in front of him, sees the goalkeeper of his lines, outside the boot, right foot, bang, goal. Phenomenal. That's a hell of a leap, by the way. Goodness gracious. Again, ruthless nature. He does not mind scoring outside the box, no problem. Again, you see him here. The ball's broken loose. Great first touch. On the ball, players in front of him. Shoots outside. Jeez Louise. Goodness gracious. Very. Look at his back lift. Look at his back lift. Hardly any. He's about to take it here. Next second. Jeez. Goodness gracious. Again, taking up central positions. First touch. Yes, he does. Goal. And we saw that in the previous video, actually, when we talked about it with Mitch and with Bobby Fairview. Lovely first touch. Past two players. Breaks open the play. Very, very good. Look, goalkeeper, long ball. First touch, just like Ramsdale would do. Over the top. First touch. Great. Holds up the play. In behind. Way. Through the legs of the defender. Nearly got to the other player. Takes it on here. Great turn. Back to goal. Past the player. looks around, lays it off. Great skill. He's got good ability off the ball. Again, pace and power. Stretches the midfield, sees the runner. Does he get after the runner? No, it takes a shot. Something to work on. Scores the goal anyway. But, you know, it could have went the other way there. Really, really. And it started off in his own half. Eddie Howe wants this ability. He wants the ability of players that can carry the ball. And if you've got your central striker in Sesko, Anthony Gordon, Anthony Elanga, all been able to do that, yeah, it's going to be difficult. All right, so the ball is picked up centrally. You see him picking it up here. Lovely first touch. Takes it on. Again, shoots outside the box. Oh, goodness gracious. I was about to say he needs to get into the penalty box, but if you can shoot like that, fair play. Again, very minimal backlift through the roof of the net. First touch on the chest, holds off the defender, pushes, pace, power. Very aggressive there. Throws off the defender, looks up. I would love to see what the decision making was in that penalty box for him there. But again, pace, power, strength, takes on the ball again in his own half. First touch, turn around, back to goal. Got the opponents running, past player 2, past player 3. Oh, is he still running? Is he still going? Does he score from this? Oh, just hits it out wide. He's ruthless. He's past it there. He is ruthless. He does need to work on his 1v1s. And clearly did talk about that. He opened up his body there. You're meant to do that, but sometimes it's a bit too obvious. And I've heard analysts say, like, for instance, in Isak's case, Isak's got like 4 different movements, 4 different ways he does in terms of before he finished. Oh, unlucky there. Outside of the boot, supply and demand there. So and again, these are things that can be taught. Again, a little bit of a decision making there. He's free, great movement in between the players. 1v1. What does he do here? Okay, goal. He gets that one. Okay, so we watched 3 minutes of that. I think it's been some. So I'll be, you know, again, if we are advanced and we get it over the line, I for one will be super excited. All right, so wow. Let's finish off with the chats and we'll conclude the show. Again, I want to thank you guys. You've been absolutely just overwhelmingly phenomenal. I can't see, for some reason, I can't ever see how many likes or whatnot, but I know that you guys have been incredible for them. We've had people saying that we've subbed. We've had people saying that they've liked, shared, and subscribed. People demanding that Sesko the video, and we've provided it. You've been absolutely phenomenal. And I want to thank you all for that. You've been absolutely phenomenal. All right, so let's just finish off with the chats. I'm going to give it 5 or 6 minutes or so. And if we meet, I don't know if we reached 800 subs. If we do, let me know if anybody knows how many subs we're on at the moment. Let's do it live. That'll be absolutely phenomenal. All right, so El Capo says Sesko only has to say the word Isak or no Isak, Newcastle United will drop a club record fee immediately. Yes, we're ready for that. Lominos, good to see you, Lominos. God bless you. I'll say this, Philip. Sesko will suit us perfectly. Yes, I agree. Because the way our wingers and fullbacks cross the balls in the box, Isak was not useful because he wasn't a good header of the ball, unlike Sesko if we get him. Yeah, I didn't see too much. Obviously, remember the really good goal against Arsenal. But I think with Sesko's ability in the air, I think that's something that we'll definitely focus on. I think we need to get more goals from set pieces. Jamie Whitehouse, how many times we've got to say not for sale? Why do you think Bud not come? Yeah, I think, look, we've been very consistent in our message. I think we're going to say not for sale until we get people over the line. It would be absolutely insane if Newcastle do not have quality forward replacements and we sell Isak. That would be absolutely insane. Davey says, looks a good prospect. I agree. Bobby Fair, be good to see you. God bless you. I'm late. Glad to see 76 likes. You guys smashed the last video of 71 likes. That's phenomenal. You're growing, brother. Thank you, sir. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Kim Cam Kelvin, he should be fined and sent to the reserves. He's not better than his teammates. He is badly advised. He is. I absolutely agree with that. I think we've got a Liverpool fan here, David Gettigan. When are you going to drop Isak to Anfield? You know the simple answer to that when you drop the 150 million into our bank account. 2 installments, please. Eric Dyer, thanks for that, genius. I couldn't remember his first name for some reason. He got cooked in that situation there. Lomina said, and I bet it's one of those games. Maybe Dyer had him on lock all game, maybe, and Sesko got that time over him. Lominos, Isak can link players when he gets the ball at his feet into the air. He's weak. In the air, he is weak. I think that one area where Sesko is better than him. Please, Sesko, if both-footed, no matter where the ball is, he will strike. Yes, that is very, very true. Very, very, very true. And it appears we're very close to 800 subs. So, guys, if you guys enjoyed the show, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Queen of Hearts says, keep hitting those likes, folks. Keep hitting those likes. Calvin says he'll gladly sell them to Saudis for 50 million, just not to Liverpool. You certainly don't hold all the cards. You have zero leverage. Okay. There's a reason why he's still at Newcastle. So zero leverage means that he would already be at Liverpool, but he's not. Start warming up to Sesko. We are. Dave Eddy, thanks for that great show. Thank you, David. God bless you. Hoping we get Sesko and the fans will love him. Me too. Me too. 77 likes from Cy Robson. Oh, wow. We've got 793 subs. Wow. We're 7 subs away from 800. Goodness gracious. Guys, keep on going. You've been absolutely phenomenal. All right. So we're down to the last several. Hit those likes. Queen of Heart is encouraging folks. Hit those like J7 2-footed tackle next season, please. We'll clap the red card. Yeah, probably would. But no, of course not. Kim Cam, remember that any good striker will score the same amount of goals because of our team and the way we play. We do play, yes, we are, Mr. Sesko will have plenty of opportunities, certainly. John McLaughlin, I think, is a Liverpool fan. Isak's our new number 14. 150, please. 150, please. 150, please. Okay, our owners can buy your owner. Okay, you got a debate there. All right, so 6 away from 800. Guys, we've come to the concluding part of the show. We've had some, I think again, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think we said like up to 90 viewers watching live. We're 6 away from 800 subs. I've seen 76 likes or something like that during the show live. That ratio is I'm lost for words. I've got nothing to say, guys. You guys have all been, the engagement has been absolutely phenomenal. We've done 2 hours and 27 minutes, and a lot of you have been here from the beginning to the end. I want to give you a fantastic thank you for that. We've talked about in the show. What did we talk about? We talked about Aaron Ramsdale is coming to Newcastle United. We talked about his fee. We did a scouting report on him. We did show this video as well when he renewed his contract with Arsenal. We talked about obviously the Isak and saga, and then the rotation with Sesko and Wissa and everybody else linked to Newcastle United. I gave a heartfelt speech in terms of Isak as well. And we've then obviously did a scout and review for looked at Craig Hope's video on that. We did a scout and review for Sesko, where he was absolutely, showed himself to be absolutely, a great player, someone that would suit Newcastle United. And guys, we've had a phenomenal show with lots of content, and you guys have been absolutely central in terms of your engagement and everything else. I want to give you guys a good night. You've been absolutely phenomenal. A good evening, good night, a good morning, wherever you are, wherever you're doing. Make sure you're well. And as always, folks, take care and God bless, folks.